We've actually been making music for like 10 years, and that's all on Spotify too. And most of it is rough. But one of my favorite things is like when you find a new band and then you realize they have like 10 albums already. And you're like, oh, these guys have been doing it forever. And then you go back and you get to hear the evolution, and the first stuff is really rough. But then like, if you're a hipster like me, you're like, that's your favorite shit, you know? Yeah. You're like, I like when they sound like crap.
Okay, I'm a crab, it doesn't matter.
Will you tell me a little bit about how you started making music together?
Dylan and I met in 2009.
Yeah.
And we bonded over our love of improvisational comedy and music. I think I showed him like Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart, and he showed me Wolf Parade and
Pavement.
And Pavement, that's right. And so then we just were screaming about music forever. The original idea was like he would write the lyrics and I would sing, but then it just became easier for him to sing. So we just started making music where I do most of the music and Dylan does most of the lyrics and the singing. But we also both do both.
I want to ask about the songs that you had sent me, The Crab Part 1 and Part 2, I believe, Whatever You Say and I Might Have Known. Will you please tell me how both of these songs got created?
Dylan's in New York now and I'm still in Oakland.
We've been sort of doing this through the mail since quarantine started, and it's been a really good thing for both of us, I think, to have that creative outlet. We had just spent about a year working on an album, and we really liked it.
And you were like, wouldn't it be funny if we did that thing that every indie band does, where like our second album is just like synth pop dance music and everybody hates it? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, let's do that. So I bought like a little MIDI keyboard, and I was trying to lay down something more dancey. And I was really interested in working with like the conversation between a bass guitar and a synthesizer if they're operating in the same register. Like Parliament Funkadelic does this a lot, and I'm always trying to trick people into listening to me play slap bass. So I was like, how can I get away with this?
How many like iterations of songwriting ends up from like, you know, germ of an idea to finished song?
Not that many.
We're not big on revisions. Like I kind of hate a creative process where somebody's like, oh, do this different. And you're like, well, that changes my whole fucking thing. And I have to start over. Like when I get the vocals back from Dylan, I'm just like a kid on Christmas Day, or I just open it up and I'm like, ooh, what has he done this time?
You know, I'm a big first idea, best idea person myself. Life is too short to like drive yourself completely nuts tinkering with stuff. Dylan, can you tell me, you know, what inspired the two, you know, The Crab Part 1 and Part 2? Like, what did that originally come from?
I misremembered a line from The Tempest. There's at the end of The Tempest, the William Shakespeare play, there's a line, touch me not, for I am not Stefano, but a cramp. And for whatever reason in my head, it was always crab. I looked it up today, thinking I was going to talk about it. It's cramp. It's not crab. I don't know. I've been indoors a lot, and I feel like animals are real easy. Like you get a lot of mileage out of them. Mm-hmm. If you think about like a crab, they walk sideways. They're like really silly. Yeah, they got pincers. They're kind of these like weird, disgusting little interlopers that are like ocean creatures, but they're on land. You just get all of this mileage out of this thing that's stupid and like fun to play with. And so that's how it starts. I just got hooked on crab. I'm really into the idea of desperation right now. And something about someone identifying with this like slimy little guy, I think is really, really desperate and funny, in a way that can also make you think. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
The crab.